the business itself is built on a lot of history throughout, Chicano, Latino, American history. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot to discuss. Before we get into that, I did want to let folks know, my little secret sheet that was supposed to hide was actually on Ray Jr.'s t-shirt there. We will be revealing later on, I'll try to get in front of it. We will be revealing later on a special surprise for everybody, and that is a new graphic element for the business. And so we'll let JJ talk about that later on. So again, I'll be here to sort of guide us along. I'll be following cues from folks, in the family and the staff, and we're having a good time. We're gonna have a real good time today. So a little bit, about the business. It's celebrating El Pachuco Zoot Suits, its 42nd anniversary. And if a lot of you were able to join us for the 40th anniversary last year, you knew it was a blast. And unfortunately with COVID, obviously we can't have another face-to-face gathering the same way we did previously. But one of the unintended consequences of COVID is that we can actually reach out to a broader circle of people globally and invite them to the 42nd anniversary, which is online. So even though we can't meet up face to face, we're able to open up this celebration to everybody worldwide who's ever had an interest in the business, ever had an interest in Zoot Suits. And a little bit more about myself, I'm a professor, and to be honest, I really owe my career to El Pachuco Zoot Suits. And so as a teenager growing up in the 1990s, I don't know if you're like me, if you were, reading the old lowrider magazines when they were still on paper, right? Who remembers paper magazines? Those are almost, a thing of the past almost. But there was always this quarter page ad, half page or quarter page ad in the lowrider magazines for El Pachuco Zoot Suits, and they had the great artwork by Mr. Mendoza, Mr. Julian Mendoza. And I would clip those out. And tape them up onto my my bedroom walls when I was a teenager back in the 90s. And it was a real pleasure actually seeing the business and seeing the Zoot Suiters firsthand at some of the lowrider shows around Southern California. And so I begged and pleaded my mom, can we actually go down to Orange County and go to the El Pachuco Zoot Suits shop, the storefront. And we made the drive. We made the 2.5-hour drive up from Santa Barbara down to, well, there's actually a trivia question later on. I won't reveal the city that they're in, but they're in Orange County. We made the drive down to there. And after a lot more begging and pleading, my mom got me my first Zoot Suit. It was an all black Zoot Suit that I wore for prom that year. So as we were loading up the car, I threw the suit in the trunk. And I was so excited that, I got a Zoot Suit, and I threw the keys in the trunk also and closed the trunk on the keys. I remember that. See? And lo and behold, we had to wait for AAA to come and crack the doors open. But those few hours that we were there stranded, waiting at the shop for AAA to show up, I got to know the family really well. And so, just kind of being stuck there and us being stuck at the shop and them being stuck with me and my mom, we really had, a good time getting to know each other. And really sort of my interest and fascination with Pachuca, Zoot Suits, that really has driven my career as a academic, as a scholar. And so that's my area of expertise, one of my area of expertise in academia. And that would have never happened had I never encountered the family there at El Pachuco Zoot Suit. So I really, among the things that I'm thankful for in this world is getting to know the family. And I'm thankful for them being a part of my career path. And so it was a real great honor to actually bring Phyllis, Ray Sr., and Vanessa to campus a couple years back to celebrate their achievements as well. So I wanted to kick us off by starting this story off with, the family. A lot of times you'll hear me maybe just say the El Pachuco family or the family. And the family I'm referring to is the Estrella and Duran family. And we have with us, the family. And so what I'd like to do is go ahead and actually ask each couple, right, to maybe just kind of say, well, I'm going to start with Ray Sr. and Phyllis, and then I'll ask the other two couples to say your names, but also your relationship to Ray Sr. and Phyllis. And so This business, it owes its founding to Phyllis Estrella and Ray Estrella Sr., who founded the business. Again, the actual year is another trivia question, so I won't give that away, but it's the 42nd anniversary. I'll let everyone do the math. And their story is really, really amazing. So I want to welcome to Zoom, first of all, right, the reason why we're here, Phyllis Estrella and Ray Sr. Estrella. How are you?
Good.
Hi, Nick.
Good to hear you. Hey, hey. We just had a pop-in visitor that's actually gonna take us to our next couple. And so I can pass it off to our next couple to say who you are and say your relationship to Ray and Phyllis.
This is Vanessa, and this is Ray Estrella Jr., mom and dad, Phil.
My in-laws. Hi.
And that was my daughter, Raylinda.
Excellent, excellent. And I'm gonna pass it off to our last couple. Can you let us know what your names are and what your relationship to Ray and Phyllis are?
Yes, I am Linda Estrella Gonzalez, and I am the oldest of Ray and Phyllis's kids. And this is my husband, Joseph. He's pretty new to the family still, and yeah, I'm the first one, the oldest one, so I got to see all of this start. So thank you, Nick, for doing this. We're super excited.
It's my pleasure. And I know everyone had a little thing to share for this anniversary. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it off. Whoever would like to go first and maybe share a few words for the 42nd anniversary celebration.
Okay, I will start. Okay, I'm going to start because I was, let's see, we'll do the math. 42 years ago, I was 14 years old when all this started. And I remember my parents going to see this play, and they came home late and I was asleep, and my mom came into my room super excited. Oh my gosh, this play. I mean, she just fell in love with this play. And so I saw it all start, and I personally like to see stories of how businesses got where they are. And I was lucky enough to live through all this. I mean, we started at the swap meet, at car shows. I mean, it's been a long road to where we're at. And I remember being in 8th grade, 9th grade, being at the swap meet and thinking, and we were selling hats at that time. And I remember thinking, one day I want to be on the other side of the table. Because it was hot and we'd have to be there early, and lots of really good memories. I mean, it would take all night to talk about that. But so it's been a good road, but we've all been working together, and we've come a long way, and it makes me proud. And I know my mom is very proud, but she is the one who started it. Her, my grandpa, my dad. It was a team effort, but they led the way.
Vanessa Ray?
Oh, go ahead, Vanessa.
Well, I have only been with the store for 19 years. It doesn't seem really like it's been that long because, it's always fun. It's always fun when you're having fun. So time goes by fast, and I am very blessed and thankful to be a part of this family and to be able to work with Phyllis and everybody. And it's just, I'm so happy to be able to be here.
Like Linda said, it's great. I remember going to the shows and them. I remember my dad making me a bed underneath the tables so I can go to sleep, and that was fun. That was fun. So we'd go to the lowrider shows, and I'd get tired, and he'd make a bed, and I go to sleep for a few hours, and I'd hear them talking business. So it's been since day one. It's a lot of fun.
How old are you?
46. So I was about 4 years old when they were doing this. So Nick, you and I have been on the road many years, many years, Nick.
I'm glad that was pre-cell phone, pre-social media.
It's nice to see everybody that's online right now following us. Thank you. It's nice to see our friends saying hi, our family saying hi. It's really nice.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for celebrating with us.
Yeah, we wish it was in person, but and I'm also going to add this too, Nick. I'm gonna jump on yours because I did my thesis on the Zoot suit. So and I didn't know what to do it on. And my advisor said, why don't you do it on your business? So it's really, I mean, I think it's a good read because I wrote it, but so I did a lot of research, and it was, it was, I was there for it, so I know how it went, and I really need to update it because I'd like to update the last 10 years. I really want to make a book out of it, but we'll put that in.
You should.
We'll put that in the schedule.
We'll put it out. We'll put it out at the store.
Yeah.
All right, and I'm JJ. Many of you know me from the Pachuco Lifestyles that we just started. I am the newest member to the family. Linda and I, well, we'll be married on December 1st for 3 years. And so I came into the family, the newest one, to learn about zoot suits. Really,
yes,
something that I really have, I've always, was involved in.
Okay.
Oh.
Yes, kiddo.
Talking to her.
Oh. But anyways, yeah, I tell Linda that when she was in the theater watching Zoot Suit, that I was probably in the same theater because I saw the movie or saw the play in 1978 as well. As 13-year-old, my dad loaded us all up into his lowered Nova and took us to Hollywood, I think it was, at the Aquarius. Right?
The Aquarius.
The Aquarius Theater to see the play. So I've always had I guess deep down a passion. But for anything that has involved Chicano, Latino art, so I'm the newest one to the family, and every minute has been a pleasure, an adventure. It's just a great family to be around and to see all the success that Phyllis has had and continues to have. Has to be honored and really, shared. So
I always tell him, like, you don't know what you got yourself into. It's because he kept saying, you guys have a lot of parties to go to, and there's always something going on. But we're really happy too because he took over social media, which was really important during the last 3 years. So he loves it. He's good at it, and I'm glad he likes it.
You better like it.
I want to say something. Thank you, Nick, for doing this for us. We're happy to be able to celebrate our 42nd anniversary. I mean, life is so unpredictable. We never thought we'd be here at home in our living room celebrating an anniversary. It's a good thing we had a party last year and really partied. I think you're going to show a few clips of that. We had so much fun last year. We were planning on having another party this year, but as you see, it just didn't happen. Lots of good memories here. I remember Nick, when he came in, he was a little teenager. So long ago. He'd come every year. His mother would bring him, and we just had so much fun dressing him up. Thank you again, JJ, for putting these interviews together. If it wasn't for JJ, we wouldn't have these interviews. He's getting so good at these interviews now. I'm looking for a radio station. Anybody have a radio station out there? We can put JJ on. We can have Pachuco talk all the time because I just don't have enough Pachuco. So here's my husband. Maybe he can say a few words.
Thank you, Nick. Thank you for putting this on. As you mentioned a while ago, Nick, and I think my son mentioned it, we started after we went to see the play and, at the Aquarius. We saw it more than once. I think we saw it 6 times. And on the way home, the last time, my wife was really impressed with the clothing style. So she said, I'm going to buy a suit for my little brother. At the time, her brother David was 14 years old. And we looked and we looked and we looked. We could not find one zoot suit anywhere, not even a pattern. So I figured if anybody's got a zoot suit, it's got to be Hollywood. So I went to the Yellow Pages. A lot of people don't know what the Yellow Pages are anymore, but I went to the Yellow Pages and I found a company called Western Costume. And it's funny because there's a tie-in how things come full circle. Later when we talk about a big order that Vanessa just did, it happens to be Western Costume. Who would ever think, 42 years later. But anyway, I called and they had a zoot suit. I went in, there was a bright, striking pink zoot suit. But that's the only one they had. So I brought it home and I don't know how we talked my brother-in-law or Phyllis's brother-in-law putting it on and taking pictures.
And I still have the picture
yeah,
too.
we still had the picture. Joseph Valenzuela, her brother-in-law, he kept saying, man, that's a HOTO color. You know, I don't want to offend anybody, but, you know, but, you know, but anyway, big macho guy, right? So anyway, we took the pictures and, you know, we proceeded from there, and eventually we found somebody to make the pants for us. But in the interim, because we were bitten by the bug, if you will, we started going to car shows. And that was about the same time that Lowrider magazine was starting off. And in the process, we made very good friends with Sonny Madrid and Larry Gonzalez. And we were like gypsies, man. We would go to whatever, Arizona, San Francisco, Sacramento, whatever.
Fresno.
And I made my living as a banker. I retired, you know, after 32 years in banking. But I used to get out of work on a Friday night, go rent a trailer, you know, 15-foot trailer, go to the shop, load it up, and we'd close the shop and we'd hit the road 10, 11 o'clock at night. We'd drive all night or most of the night, get to where we were going, sleep a couple hours, and do a car show Saturday and Sunday, and then come home. So we did that for a long time. Like Linda said earlier, you know, it wasn't always a storefront. You know, we went to car shows, we went to swap meets, you name it. More than once we got rained on and on and on and on. But here we are. So it's been you know, a very interesting ride. We've met a lot of wonderful people. We've made friendships that exist to this day. You, for example, Julian Mendoza, the people that have been and remain friends, you know, for over 40 years. So it's been a wonderful experience. You know, not all roses, but the majority of the times were good.
Who would ever dream that going to see a play written by a Chicano with Chicano artists, and we were all Chicanos there. It was such a good feeling. And then I saw this name there, Luis Valdez, and I thought, I wonder who he is. I'd never dreamed I would meet him, and I was lucky enough to meet him. So he's another one of our friends. The Zoot Suit became my passion, my hobby, and it ended up changing our whole life, and we built a career around it. It's been a good ride, and the best part of everything is that all the wonderful friends that we have made. Because without our friends and our customers, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. I just want to thank them for being loyal to us and coming back year after year, and bringing their family and their children and their best friends, and keeping us alive. Because we love the style, and we just want to make things better.
We get second and third generation, and some people come in and say, hey, don't you remember me? I was here for my prom. And my wife's trying to be polite, say, yeah, I sort of, but we can't remember all the people, but a lot of people come back and say that.
But what they do is they show me their actual prom picture of when they did come in and they have the Zoot Suit on. So we take a picture of them with their son. And that's always a lot of fun. I know Vanessa has a few of those pictures where the dads are with the sons.
Yeah.
And when we first started, when they used to come in to see the Zoot Suit, people didn't believe we really had a Zoot Suit because nobody had a Zoot Suit before us. So they would bring their grandma, their grandpa, all the friends in the neighborhood, and to get one suit, there was like 30 people in there, and they couldn't believe that we had a Zoot Suit. So I would dress them up, and at that time I had a little more time on my hand, and I had a nice camera, and I would take all their pictures. And I said, if you bring my suit back in time, that's if they didn't buy it. If they rented it, if you bring it back on Monday, I'll give you this free picture. So I got them all back in time, and to this day, they still have that picture. But then we got busier. I had to get rid of the photography stuff there, and that's what we did at the beginning.
We had help in many ways, Nick, you know, in our business. We talk about the people that helped found it, you know, my father-in-law, Phyllis's dad, was very instrumental in helping us. And he had not been a Pachuco because he was away at war. He went away for World War II. But the thing that was so interesting is that when we were open, I remember this one particular group of guys, men, older men. They were retired guys that used to work at Kaiser Steel in Fontana. And they would come in and they would chat with my father-in-law, and then just, they loved the Zoot Suit. They would come in and they would give us pointers. You know, in my day, you know, we did this and we wore it like this. And we took all those pointers down, and we gradually made, you know, adjusted the suit that we have now. He has probably been modified, but again, keeping that in tradition many, many times. And in the process, we were blessed with finding, in my opinion, one of the best tailors in the world. We started out, as we said earlier, selling hats. And then we advertised in Lowrider magazine that we were gonna start making Zoot Suit pants. So that, having said that, we had to do it. So I started my search again, and I don't know how in the heck I found a tailor shop in Santana. And I went down there and talked to the guy. He was kind of a creepy kind of guy, but he put out a decent pair of pants. Well, he had 5 or 6 tailors making pants for us. But out of those 5 or 6 tailors, one pair of pants stood out like a sore thumb. Beautiful quality, just beautiful. Well, I made it a point to find out who that tailor was. And gradually, you know, they were like scared animals that came to find out later it was a real honest to goodness sweatshop where they were locked in at night. I never knew that. They were like slaves there. Anyway, I came to meet the tailor, became friends with him, and eventually gained his trust. So I told him, if you ever need help or want to get away from here, here's my number, hide it so nobody will find it. And he said, okay. Well, about 3 months later, one Sunday afternoon, we were at home, the phone rings, my wife answered, and she says, oh my gosh, it's that tailor, Mr. Galvan. He's on the phone, he sounds scared as hell. So I got on the phone and I talked to him, and he was scared as hell. And I finally figured out, asking him, tell me what you see around you, finally figured out what corner he was in. So I went to get him and I put him up in a motel. Eventually I got him his own apartment, and eventually he became my tailor for over 30 years till he died. But it was because of him, he developed the patterns for what we have now. He was from Puebla, Mexico. He came from a tailoring family. All ranging back to his great grandfather, they were all tailors. And this guy was just unbelievable. The guy could make you something out of a picture. You might remember him, Mr. Galvan. I don't know if you remember him or not. And it was because of him that we were able to formulate the patterns that we now have. You know, we have patterns, and that's what we make our suits from, but it was because of him. So as we said earlier, in our experience, we have met a lot of fine, wonderful people that helped put us where we're at. It wasn't done just by ourselves. But anyway, enough of that history for now. You want to say something, Phyllis?
Well, just that the foundation was, at the beginning, it was just my husband and my dad. It was just the 3 of us. And then I'm the one that came up with the idea. They supported my ideas and they made it happen. He was always a banker, and my dad was always the one with the great ideas and telling us how we could do it.
I was a gopher. I'd go to Tijuana, wherever I needed to find tailors, man. If somebody told me about something, I'd go chase it down. So that it took a lot of gophering.
Yeah, we were driven. We were going to make the Zoot Suit one way or the other. And we did. We finally did.
That's great. Such amazing history. I'm keeping an eye on the Facebook comments, and we've got people checking in from all over. We've got a lot of folks checking in from Texas, some folks from San Antonio, from El Paso. We've got folks from New Mexico, from Albuquerque. There is one thing here that I wanted to do a fact check on.
Okay.
And someone commented that Ray Sr. parachuted into a lowrider show. Did that actually happen?
Well, no, that's not. Thank you for whoever said it. It's partly true. What happened was that Lowrider did a car show in a place in Arizona called Thunderbird Lake.
That was our very first car show we ever did.
And,
I have pictures of that too.
at that time, they were promoting Tierra. Tierra was just starting out.
Beginning.
The beginning of Tierra. And it just so happened that literally across the freeway was the little town that I was born in, the little village, Yaqui village. I'm Yaqui Indian. So I was sent unpaid by Lowrider to help, I think it was Johnny Lasoya, one of their guys, negotiate a rental from the tribe there was a tribe across the freeway from ours that owned Thunderbird Lake. So anyway, I helped and we got it done. Well, unbeknownst to me, I had a lot of friends. I'm a former paratrooper myself. Had a lot of friends.
How many jumps, Ray? How many jumps?
How many jumps, Dad? How many jumps?
I'm more than a paratrooper. I'm a former Green Beret, Nick. And I 113 static and 7 free falls.
The 112th messed up your knee.
But anyway, because of the association that we had, unbeknownst to me, some friends, they call themselves the Azteca Skydivers. And they had like chapters in Arizona and New Mexico and California. And unbeknownst to me, in order to help out, they had 4 guys jump. And like I say, I accidentally helped set it up, but no, I didn't make that jump. And we landed. It was a big surprise. The lowrider crowd was astonished when they saw 4 guys. And one of them came down with an American flag, another one the Mexican flag, and one guy had flares, beautiful, the tricolor. And so Lowrider got a free entertainment out of that. But that's how that happened. No, I didn't jump.
Thank you for that. Johnny Lazoya is actually watching along with us, and so he's been offering some comments here and there. We also have some comments here from different folks thanking you for your service as well. So wanted to pass that along. And again, folks watching along on Facebook, drop us some questions or some comments. Let us know where you're watching from, what town you live in, and how the business has impacted your life or shaped up your style. Now, what I want to do is pass it off to JJ, who's going to unveil this new graphic element for the 42nd anniversary. So we've been, seeing bits and pieces of it on social media, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And now we're actually going to see the entire thing. So I'm going to go ahead and pass it on over to JJ.
All right. Thank you. Oh, wait.
The introduction, Nick?
I'm going to add one thing.
Yes.
Hint trivia. All 3 of my dad's children are scared of heights.
They are. Not like me. I can't even get to the edge of anything.
But I want to get on a roller coaster.
All right. Well,
Nick, sidetrack while we're on that subject. I came from an airborne family. All my cousins were paratroopers. And then I married into a paratrooper family. Her dad was a paratrooper in World War II. Her uncles. So I had to be a paratrooper in order to marry her, man.
No pressure. No pressure.
But anyway, another just a side comment. As you mentioned earlier, we've had a lot of long-standing relationships, and one of them is, of course, Julian Mendoza. He has been our artist since day one. And, he's still our artist, a lot of our graphics. And what JJ is going to do, of course, is introduce for our 42nd, this new graphic, and again, adding to the El Pachuco graphics, but not in any way, shape, or form changing what we already have. That's been with us since day one and is going to continue.
Absolutely.
Hey, Nick, can you add my sister's right? My other sister, or my third sibling, is right behind my mom.
Get in here.
Yeah, let's open it up. Yeah, who else can join us? Who else is there?
That's Julian.
Right here, Brandon, right here.
Sit down, Brandon. We also have one of my grandsons here.
He's our tech guy.
Go between grandma and grandpa. That's how we'll see you guys.
Oh, there you go.
Our
That's
tech
my
guy,
secret
our
name.
tech guy here, Roy,
One of the twins.
this is our 18-year-old grandson. Just graduated from high school, going to go to college, and that's Rolando Jr.
Hi, everyone.
I see Raymond Julian behind.
I have my favorite nephew behind me,
Yeah,
Julioncito, as we know him.
this is our
Little model.
daughter, Reina.
Hi, everyone.
We didn't
Raina did all the car shows with us. She was always there with us. Always there.
we didn't let him get too far away, Nick. She lives next door to us. Linda lives the other side of us. We have a house for Ray, but we needed someone to keep an eye on the shop, so that's why he lives by the shop. So our kids are not too far away. 4 miles with them.
And we're still late to work.
Yes, as you mentioned, all the great artwork that's been produced by Mr. Mendoza. JJ had recorded a special episode with him and Lisa Love. So I really recommend folks definitely check out not just that episode, but all the Pachuco Lifestyles episodes that JJ has worked on. So JJ, you're gonna go ahead and do the unveiling, I believe.
Well, it looks like Ray and Vanessa beat me to the punch there.
What?
I guess they didn't get the memo.
Nick showed it. Nick had it first. Nick had it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally.
I had a piece of paper covering it up, but the piece of paper fell down.
Do we get a drum roll of some kind or trumpets or something?
Do you have a poster, Vanessa? Does Vanessa have a poster?
Yes.
Okay, so do it at the same time. But boom, there it is.
Ba-boom.
That's our. Let's say boom, there it is.
Okay.
So that's El Gato Chuco, and that is we have T-shirts, we have posters signed by the artist, and I'll let Vanessa talk about Fonzie, who is a tattoo and
Good friend of ours.
just an awesome artist. He doesn't just do tattoos; he does
Airbrushing. He does airbrushing.
So Vanessa, why don't you say a little bit about Fonzie and about the process that we went through to get that new graphic?
So Fonzie is our dear friend of ours and
neighbor.
And he is a tattoo artist. We reached out to him before COVID about doing a new graphic, a new art. We love the Tom and Jerry cartoon where he comes out in a zoot suit. So we knew we wanted something animated. And so we said, what do you think about a gato, a cat, a pachuco cat? And, Fonzie is just so amazing. He, more than did what we asked him to do, all the detail. I don't know if you guys can see it, but this is amazing. And we called it El Gato Chuco, and he is 100% Pachuco. So you can see it here. Look at the detail on the shoe. Fonzie is just amazing. Look at the chain, the pleats on the
Of course, we had to
pants,
add
the suspenders, the tie,
we had to add the thing to the mouth.
I like his nail.
and the cigar here
Not
on
the-
his mouth.
Not the cigar.
I'm sorry, the match.
The
The
match.
matchstick on his mouth, that's Fonzie's signature.
That's a trola. Vanessa, before your time, that's called a trola.
La trola que tiene el gato en la boca
Right.
is Fonzie's signature. So for those of you who are going to be answering some trivia questions later on today, this is going to be one of the giveaways. It is autographed, again, by our amazing artist, Julian Mendoza.
No.
I'm sorry, Fonzie. I am so used to doing Julian for everything. Julian is our, big artist, but this is Fonzie Grisco.
So
What Vanessa is referring to, in 1942, a cartoon came out, Tom and Jerry, and you guys can probably go to YouTube and look for it, and it shows Tom and Jerry, Tom making a zoot suit for both of them. It's really interesting. In 1942, and I think it's called the Zoot Cat. The Zoot Cat. But we have a poster in the shop at El Pachuco and at our shop. But if anybody wants to look it up, It's the Zoot Cat. It was a cartoon that came out in 1942.
And one day, as soon as I can find the fabric, if I can ever be lucky enough to find it, I want to make a suit like that because I think it's really cute.
That entire cartoon can be found on YouTube. I saw it not too long ago. Also want to mention the second hour we're gonna have Nick playing music. He's gonna be spinning some vinyl. But we're gonna ask questions during that session, and if you answer correctly, the first one to comment in the comment bar is gonna win prizes. I don't think we really separated them up, but we have the mask that Vanessa's showing. We have some masks. We have T-shirts. We have what I was lifting up earlier. These are bottle openers. What else do we have? We have something else. Oh yeah, we have candles and 2 Serape baseball hats. Oh, and now Pachuco pins. So please stay for the second hour with Nick, and he'll be asking questions in the intermission, and you'll be able to win some prizes. And
absolutely. And
say.
And then we're also going to be taking pre-orders for these shirts. Today they're $25. That's our special for joining us today. So just send us a message or email us, or we'll talk more at the end how to order.
Is that the El Pachuco for President pin?
Yes.
Yes.
Where's that when you go?
2021. Let's vote. El Pachuco. Oh, here's somebody was asking. I think it was Monica on Facebook was asking
where's the model?
where the other little model is. She's outside running around. She can't be in here.
My granddaughter,
We
Elsa.
can't hear. Our little Elsa.
Excellent. Definitely a family affair. You folks may have seen my daughter run in and give me a hug and run back out. So this is what this business is about. And when people talk about mom and pop businesses, well, you got mom and pop right here, and in these times, in these difficult times, in my opinion, this isn't the, opinion of El Pachuco Zoot. This is my opinion, right? Target's going to be okay. Walmart is going to be okay. It's the small businesses we need to support in these difficult times. And so I'm just going to leave it at that. A lot of folks who are watching have been longtime supporters of El Pachuco Zoot suits. Even though you can't actually, go to the shop, you can go for a online pickup. You can always call, and the web store is open 24 hours a day. So, and if you haven't been able to, keep up with, what the shop has been up to, a lot of new items. In fact, I recently picked up some El Pachuco branded shoes. They have their own shoes now, and I was really excited to pick those up. I don't want to wear them because there's a an El Pachuco logo on the bottom of the sole that I don't want to wear off.
I'll order.
I keep them on my.
Wear them, Nick.
I'll get you
order
in.
more. We'll get you.
Hey.
100%
Hi,
leather, made to our specifications, Nick. 100 out.
Who's that, Nick? Who's that, Nick?
Outsole.
Corey, you want to say hi real quick? Say hi to everybody.
Hey, if we could just mention family, if we could just mention all the people that have helped us through the years. We have Fernando Silva online. If we could just mention
Ricky Hanna is watching us.
Norma Peña.
Peña is watching us.
Jim and Diane.
Cindy Moreno Martinez is watching us. Her and Mark represent for us up north.
The Perez family out in Mexico.
Yes, the Perez family. Hola, ¿cómo están? Hi, Heidi.
Duke City Zoot Suits from Albuquerque, Tomas and Yolanda.
Yolanda, yes.
All our friends.
I'm going through. Everybody that's watching, thank you. All of our friends.
And also, let's mention some of the musical artists that have wore Zoot Suits, such as Tina Marie, Rick James, Kid Frost. Go ahead, jump in.
CeeLo Green.
Well, Ray Senior, you shared an interesting story on the Lowrider Role Models, a video about Johnny Cash, and I didn't know about. What's Johnny Cash's relationship
I
to
knew
the
you would
shop?
like that.
Yeah.
I knew you would like that.
We used to make, and Phyllis can tell you more, but we used to make coats for Johnny Cash. He called them Abe Lincoln coats. Of course, Johnny Cash never came into the store, but his agent would order them, but we made coats for him. And I'll tell you a little quick story. One day, my wife came home and she says, do you know who Johnny Depp is?
I knew who he was.
And I said,
Gosh.
yeah, well, in the meantime, the girls are going nuts. Apparently, he came into the store and ordered, what, 2-3 zoot suits?
No, he bought a suit for all his friends.
Yes, he bought a suit.
Yes, he came in, and I didn't recognize him from the pictures I've seen before. And he had a lot.
He was dressed down. He dressed like really down. Like
Yes. Yes.
my mom wouldn't even measure him.
So until he put that credit card in front of me, I didn't know who he was. And, boy, did my attitude change. Yes, yes. So we dressed him all up, and we had a really good time.
We had the Offspring come in, Korn. We did Korn's wedding. Phildy, one of the bassists. The Noodle from Offspring came in. Kevin Wasserman, he came in. And we did his whole wedding. Oh my God, he bought everything. So.
Then Vanessa, what's the name? Vanessa, what's the name of that guy from Vecindad Maldita or Maldita Vecindad?
Rocco Pachucote from Maldita Vecindad. We dress Rocco, and we also dress Pato. Pato, his drummer. They're both very, very great
Did
customers.
you stop in one time on the way to the Grammys in Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Recently?
They always stop in when they're in town.
And as we're talking about people that have helped the business, let's not forget all the Phyllis's brothers and sisters, Lucy Valenzuela, who has worked in the store for many years, and David, I believe, was
Theo Dave, Uncle Ruben.
Uncle Ruben, they all.
So we don't want to forget them. And Linda wants to say a few things about Bertie, the grandfather.
Yes, I want to, my grandpa, I'm the oldest granddaughter too. The oldest of everything. But my grandpa, we could have done this without him. He played such a huge role in all this, supporting my mom when she got the idea. And for those of you who used to come in the shop, he sat up in front. I'm sure you remember, Nick. And my grandpa, that's another book I'm going to write, is all the things that he would say. Because he was really one of a kind. I mean, quite the character. He, at one point, he would say that he was going to get Pachuco lessons. When you wore a suit, you had to come into the party late and kick the door open.
And people would do that.
Yes.
People would
You
do
had
that.
a dance, and oh yeah, you definitely had a dance if you're going to wear a suit. But he would say he was going to have lessons on Tuesdays or something, and he was kidding. And people would call and say, "What time are these lessons?" Because they really wanted a lesson. And another thing that he was known for by everybody, not just the store, anybody who knew him, he would call everybody Ace. And everybody would feel so special because he called me Ace. Well, you know why? Because he didn't know your name. Just so funny. I mean, and he was known as the Smiley. If you call and they'd say, "Who am I talking to?" "Oh, this is Smiley the Pachuco." And we even knew of a person that said, they claimed that, because he would say, if you're out of state and you come, we're going to pick you up in a limo at the train station. We're going to bring you. So we used to have a lady that said that she really got picked up by him, but we know it wasn't
We
true.
did have a limo, Nick. We did have a limo one
But
time.
we did, yes, that was one of the things. We did have a limo for a while, but he would say he was going to go pick him up. But he was the entertainment when you came in. And then somebody else remembered last week, because they would say, like, if a customer had walked in and he was on the phone, "Okay, we're going to ship those 50 suits over to you." Like, he wanted always to, he loved it too. And he did that up until he couldn't anymore. And
he would always beat us to work. Always beat us
and
to
mop.
work.
He would have mopped already by the time you got there. And he was already in his 80s.
He would go buy his mother breakfast before he would see us.
Yeah, his mother, and he was in his 80s. And his mother outlived him. In fact, yesterday it was 14 years.
He passed in 2006. So
14 years yesterday.
Yesterday.
14 years.
One of
He
the
was there till he couldn't anymore.
one of the pieces, Nick, of advice that he used to give the call them kids, the customers that would come in, I'll never forget. He'd say, when you walk into a party, you got to have attitude. Walk in there
Kick
like
the
the
door.
guy owes you $100 and he hasn't paid you yet.
He was quite a character.
He would say the women will love you, the kids will look up to you, and the men will respect you. That's one of his sayings that he would always say.
I forgot that one. You're right, sir.
Yeah.
Now, for folks listening at home, make sure you're taking notes, because a lot of these little tidbits of information, some of those are maybe some trivia questions. You might win a prize if you know some of these points of information. So make sure you're taking notes back home.
And does anybody have any questions for us? Being that you're going to start.
Julian's work. Julian Mendoza. We keep it at home.
My favorite pillow.
My favorite pillow. Don't show Lisa love.
Can I add some other artists that the recent up and comers that have come by, and I'm gonna kick myself because I can't remember the one guy from East LA, but one is Mezcal. You can find him on Instagram. He's a great words and knowledge that he drops on his tunes. And also ASAP Rocky did branded suits from us. TV shows, The Masked Singer, City of Angels, which Vanessa helped out with. So once again, so many people have helped.
Yeah, Fez wore a zoot suit on 70s Show.
Oh, Aaron, the WWE wrestler.
Yeah, Aaron Aguilera. Jesus. So he would wrestle. He would wrestle in the zoot suits. Yeah. He would slide all over in those Stacey Adams.
shoes.
If anybody knows Ray, he loves wrestling.
And Star Wars.
We did a music video with Conan.
Oh yes, we did it with Conan and Rey Mysterio. Yes.
Oh, that was so much fun.
That was a lot of people. That was a lot of people.
From morning to night.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
A video.
The night my dad became a legend.
Something also with Kid Frost, a video. With...
Yes. Mi Familia. Yes, all of us.
Danny Trejo was there.
Danny Trejo was there. Yes.
And I have those pictures too. One of these days we'll have to show pictures.
Oh, that's right. I wish we could show that another one. Pay attention. Get it, Mom. We can see it.
Okay, let me go.
Our very first ad. Okay, our very first ad was in Lowrider magazine, and right now. Yeah. But it did not say El Pachuco Zoot Suits. It said Alberto's.
Well,
jewelry.
When we first started out in business, because we hadn't come up with the El Pachuco name yet, we called everything Alberts. Like my suegro, his name was Alberto. So when we put our first ad in Lowrider magazine, it was hand-drawn, as you're going to see, and the hand-drawn characters holding a tando, and it says it's Alberts.
That's why I am Raymond Albert.
Albert was my grandpa's name. He just went by Birdie. So look, can you zoom it? Yeah, see that?
Put it close, Ray.
And that was in Lowrider magazine. And I believe, was that in 78, Dad, or 79?
78. Lowrider magazine had just started. This is probably their third or fourth edition.
And we would be remiss if we did not thank the crew from Lowrider magazine. You guys, I know it's Joe. The name
Joe Ray.
So thank them for actually
Rudy.
Rudy.
Ray and Rudy.
And they also taped as I mentioned before, the role models with Ray and Phyllis. So please go and look at that on YouTube. If you want to know about the passion of business and how this started, watch it because Phyllis really lays it down on that video.
Yeah, YouTube. So there's two reasons to go to YouTube. Go to Lowrider Role Models and go to our page, El Pachuco Zoot Suits, and subscribe. And that's where you get to see all of Joseph's interviews before he gets famous. And then you might not be able to see them.
Yeah, we have had a long-standing, great relationship with Lowrider magazine. They got started probably 6 months before we did. We knew Sonny and we knew Larry Gonzalez very well. We were very close friends, and I would fly to San Jose a lot of times, to work on ads or but we helped each other through car shows and everything, and always they were always there, supporting us and vice versa. And to this day, like I say, when we stay in contact with Joe Ray and Rudy, and it's these are friendships that have been created over the years and are still friends.
And we went from keep saying we went from swap meet,
Selling out of a van.
So yeah.
yeah, out of the van, and Ray, I think we have a picture of Ray somewhere. He was about 4 years old, out of the van.
There's,
And my dad would have to wait in line for an hour to get him a hot dog.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you, Linda, for
Yeah. So we went from swap meets to car shows. We did car shows, I'd say, up until about 5 years ago. And you know, a lot of shows we went across different. We've been through rockabilly, we've been through pimp and hoe stuff. We've covered all of it. So many people think it's just a Latino thing, and it isn't. I mean, it's all over. And
We were the unofficial clothiers for Pimp and Ho in Vegas for many, many years.
and once I went, and my sister can vouch for me back there, and one girl was wearing caution tape. That's all she was wearing was caution tape.
Well,
Stuck around.
one of the
Caution
names,
tape.
a couple of the names we haven't mentioned are the Herreras, John and
Daniel.
And Daniel.
Yeah.
Well, John worked with us for many years.
Yeah.
In fact, he lived upstairs. He went to school to become a clothing designer. And John made himself a costume, went to Vegas to the Pimp and Ho and won first place. I don't know how much money he won, but he won first place over there. But we would have people come in, fly
We
into.
would have John Huntington from Hart and Huntington. John Huntington he started that. And John Huntington would come into the store in his Lamborghini and buy like 8 hats and order all these suits from a snakeskin suit from mom, you know, and it was just crazy.
And Viva Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas. That's another big market.
Another one that Ray and Vanessa have been doing for 14 years. But
Yeah.
going back to the Pimp and Ho,
I just want to say that.
we would have people fly into LAX, and they would come in literally in 3-piece suits, you know, professional looking, and walk out like
We don't want to say what.
like
P&H, the P&H parties.
There you go.
Yeah.
P&H party. All right.
So it's interesting how we evolved. You know, we first started out with people like, wow, that's like gangster. And that's what my thesis talks about. You know, they just thought it was, you know, a Chicano rebellious thing. So it's evolved a lot through different, you know, even now we're just all over. Like we had a client a few months ago, he rented a suit for his daughter's ballet. They had a ballet performance, and it was the fathers and the daughters, and it was out in South County. So we've had, it's not just one group of people anymore.
But you know, Nick, it hasn't all been roses, okay? Like I'm sure you know, and a lot of people realize, there has always been a negative connotation to the Zoot, Pachuco, whatever you want to call them. And we have actually had people, you know, Phyllis can tell you more. One lady said, you know, was telling her grandson, why do you want to wear that? You know, I don't want to say the word and so on, but the thing that sticks in my mind, and I know my wife, you know, is not too happy because of what I did, but we did several years ago, the Orange County Fair board invited us for the whole length of the fair.
17 days. 17 days.
It's been longer.
We
Thought it
did
was longer.
performances on stage. We did a Zoot Suit show, you know.
Thank you, Gary Chavez.
Yeah. So I would always like to stand back among the crowd, you know, so I could see how they looked and maybe set them up a little bit differently. And of course, I always heard comments. And I was among this group of widows, and this one guy in particular, he was really slamming, you know, yeah, my dad was in the Marines, and they beat the you-know-what out of those Pachucos and this and that. And the more he talked, the madder I got, you know. Finally, I looked at him and said, you know what? I said, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about, man.
I knew he was going to say something.
And I said, it's a bullshit story. I said, they were beating up little kids. So they were beating up 12, 13-year-old kids that were wearing their brothers' or cousins' clothing, who, by the way, were away fighting the war. And so, of course, you're not going to win that argument, but he walked away. And then I'll tell you another story, a true story. I was very active in a lot of veterans affairs. And one year we were having a big veterans conference at Fullerton College. And while I was there, somebody came up to me and they said, Ray, I wanted to introduce you to a real Pachuco. I said, oh, great. So this guy comes, and not that I'm so tall, but this guy must have been on all of 5'6", must have weighed 90 pounds soaking wet. And he says, I'm Guy Gabaldon. And I said, what? You're Guy Gabaldon? And he goes, yeah, why? I said, well, I expected you to be 6'2", blonde and blue-eyed. He goes, why? I said, because they made a movie and the guy that played you was blonde, blue-eyed. I said, I never had a clue that you were Mexicano. And he told me the story of how he was an orphan. He was raised by a Japanese family in East LA. He said, I was a Pachuco, man. He says, I got wounded in the Pacific. I came home to recuperate. One Saturday night, I dressed up in my zoot suit, took my Jaina downtown. He said, I got beat up. He said, I told the guys that were beating me up, hey, man, I'm an active duty Marine. And they didn't believe me. But, you know, it just goes to show you that the stupidity, and maybe it'll never get corrected, but we're working on it. We're working on it. So there's a lot of stories of heroism, you know, by Latinos, as you well know. But as in the play portrays, and this opens up into, again, going back to very interesting people that we've met. Another true story is one day I happened to be at the shop, and this blonde lady walks in, blonde, blue-eyed lady, and very nice, started talking to my wife. And it turned out that she wanted to buy a green zoot suit. So my wife helped her out, and then we made friends and we're talking. It turns out she wanted to wear that zoot suit to defend her dissertation on her master's. No, I take it back, her PhD.
Yeah.
PhD.
Nick knows her.
And her name is Susan Green, Dr. Susan Green. And she currently teaches at Chico State University. She's still a friend. She's still a friend.
And there's an interview on her too.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yes.
But anyway, a little bit of more history. Go ahead. I'll let somebody else talk now.
I just want to say we got the 915 Pachucos online. So thank you for watching. We're friends from El Paso. Also, Francisco Perez, is that correct?
Yes.
Francisco Perez, Heidi.
I'll say hello to all you guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Hello, Francisco.
Martinez Zoot Suiters.
Oh,
A great group of people,
Yeah.
very supportive. They came out to a dance last year sometime, and oh man, can they dance?
yes.
Can they dance?
So much fun.
Wow, such rich history and such, you know, amazing memories. And thinking about, you know, the impact, right, that the store has for folks, you know, whether it's their personal memories, right, you know, their prom, their homecoming, their wedding, right, whether it's these broader histories, right, you know, related to sort of, you know, the American story, right, World War II history. Such an amazing role that your family business has played in that. Definitely, you know, from my family to your family, we definitely want to extend a heartfelt congratulations on 42 years. You know, y'all have earned it.
And you know, and Nick, another short story, not to end on a sad note, but it's happened more than once. I remember a couple of years back, we got a phone call. We were about ready to close. We got a phone call. Someone said they wanted to order a zoot suit. And, you know, we were talking, and I said, well, what about shoes? Because they were ordering everything. He said, oh, no shoes. This is for a dead person. I said, oh, my gosh. He said he loved zoot suits so much. We want to buy him a zoot suit and bury him in a zoot suit. And this has happened more than once, but this one is different in that they wanted it by the following morning. I said, oh my God, what do I do? So anyway, I took their phone number, I got on the phone, I called up all the different airlines, and came to find out that when I explained, I didn't say that about a zoot suit, but I needed to get some clothing for somebody. They gave me a break. I was able to go down to Orange County Airport, and I think it was Southwest Airlines, I'm not sure. and they put the suit in what they call a captain's bag, where the captain literally carried it personally, and it got to them that same night. But again, it was luck on our end, but those are the kind of memories that we have, living, of course, and then sadly, we even take care of people when they go to heaven.
Yes, we get quite a few of those orders.
Wow. That's something. That's definitely something. I've got some music queued up, but before we get to the music, I wanted to make sure that we're not leaving anything out. So, JJ, if there's anything else that folks want to share,
I want to mention some other people that support us. We got Arafat, is a great customer of ours. I believe he gets a dancer. Pachuco David, thank you, David, for always really repping us and actually still living the Pachuco lifestyle everywhere he goes. Jesse Torres, also Mr. Elvis, I call him. And the one rapper that I messed up on the name was MC Grady. Both of him and Mezcal are both on Instagram and actually wore our Zoot suits on one of their first singles that they released
Another good friend.
But anyway, thank you, everybody. Really, what we need from everybody is to please follow us on Instagram. We're really pushing for the 10,000 mark, because that 10,000 mark for a small business allows us to swipe up, which means we can show our products and be a lot easier for you to get. And also YouTube, subscribe. But thank you for all your support for everybody that's been watching.
Yes, thank you so much. I see here Adrian Rodriguez is watching us with his wife Eloise.
Our cousin Ralph Duran, who helped.
Ralph Duran. I want to say a special thank you. I don't know if he's watching, to our dear friend Pachuco Manny. He goes to all the car shows. He represents us. He's always there to hand out a business card with his name and our name on it. He's great. Our dear friend Lázaro, who has a Facebook, I believe, a club, the Pachucos y Pachucas Unidos. We have so many different people that we want to thank, and that are part of our El Pachuco family that have been coming to the store for years. And I'm hoping we remember everyone. I just see the names. I'm watching my phone of all of you guys at the watch party, following us and watching.
I want to add one, Vanessa. My personal bodyguards, that's what they call themselves, Oscar Druelas and Rene Druelas.
Yes.
Go to all the car shows, man. They're right there.
Letty and Eva are watching too. Hello, thank you.
Our club president.
Don't forget Letty, the president of Zoot Kings.
Ignacio Gomez is watching us. He's the one that did the artwork for the Zoot Suit play. He's here watching us. Hi, Ignacio.
We sat every night together at the Zoot Suit play, him and I. A lot of nights together.
Shout out to Eddie Olmos too.
And Luis Valdez.
Yes,
Luis Valdez.
Phil Esparza, thank you.
Yes, thank you, Phil.
The whole family.
Yes.
I feel like it's romper room, and you and
the entire Teatro Campesino,
yes.
The entire Teatro Campesino family.
Kinan,
they've been so great to us. Raúl Sabino, who played Pachuco, he's also,
Another one that we can't forget is Lalo Guerrero.
Yes.
Besides being a fantastic musician and a legend, and
he was a good friend.
He was a good friend. He used to come visit us. We of course know his son Danny, but he was a fine gentleman, and he used to come visit us. We used to go see him sing, and sang in Palm Springs. But he's again part of the inspiration.
Yes.
All right.
So if people want more, say it. We'll come back. We're not going anywhere.
That's right.
We're next door, but we're social distancing.
We're home.
We're all at home.
Let us know. We'll be glad to entertain you with. We have 42 years of good stories.
And we'll meet you at the curbside and drop some stuff off to you. If you want some t-shirts, shoes, suit, whatever, we'll meet you there.
Yes, if everyone is.
Just wear a mask and stay 6 feet away.
Please.
Brentwood.
Please wear a mask.
When I was going to start this, I would ask all my family and friends, what do you think if I would start a business and sell Zoot Suits? And I'll have to tell you, 90% of them said, "Are you out of your mind? Who's gonna want to buy a Zoot suit? Why?"
Tell them
He
what
said,
the supplier told you.
no, that's another long story.
We need one part two.
But that'll take another virtual report. Yes. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say now. They said, "Are you crazy? You'll never be able to pay your rent selling Zoot suits."
Step behind me.
That goes to show you, I'm not the only one that liked it.
Here's another grandson. I don't want to interrupt. This is Ricardo.
Yeah.
Ricardo.
One of our twin grandsons.
Say hi, Ricardo.
Just turned 18.
Right. So we got to get some music and give away some prizes. So so just everybody, we're gonna only Nick and I are gonna stay. So everybody else, can you guys switch off? Ray and
He's gonna be on the ones and twos.
Senior, when you're ready.
Go out.
Just the ones.
Hey, Nick, do you remember that show we did in San Francisco? Nick, remember that show we did in San Francisco and it was so cold in the room that you slept on the floor and you had one shoe on and one sock on because it was so cold and you couldn't find no blankets? You found the towel. You found the towel in the room and you put that on and you had one shoe on and one sock.
Like I said, I was glad that was before social media.
No cell phones.
And
That was funny.
I don't know if they heard you, but Brenton Wood is somebody who advertises.
Yeah. Thank you, Alfred. Thank you, Alfred. Yes.
He sang at our wedding.
He sang at our wedding.
He sang at our wedding.
Performs in our suits all
Hi,
the time.
Anna.
Hey, Anna. Hi, Anna.
Before you all transition to music, wanted to say congratulations on 42 years and thank you for
Thank
being so
you.
gracious. You all are definitely family to us, so thank you for
Yes.
everything.
Thank you.
We were in their wedding.
Yes. Ray and I are part of
On
the
our
wedding.
anniversary. You got married on our
yes.
anniversary. Yes.
We have the same anniversary.
That's
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, so Joseph, you out, so I'm out.
Okay.
All right, so everybody, make sure you log out, and then Nick and this screen will stay on.
Everybody log us out.
You have to log yourself out.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.
No,
Thank you, everybody.
You're
Thank
good.
everybody watching. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss. You're not gonna want to miss all the great music. So make sure you guys dance. Again, if you guys have any questions, please call us. 714-526-3743. We are doing online and curbside pickup.
And pre-order the shirts.
Yes.
Put a message if you want a shirt. Pre-order them now.
We have the women's V-neck with the gato, the El Gato Chuco, 100% Pachuco on the V-neck with the shirts. And then we have the gray men's t-shirt. Stand up, Ray. Can't see. He's my model for today. Let me say, stand straight.
Picture my belly.
So put the orders in and we will get them out to you. All right. See you guys.
All right, take it away, Nick. I'm just going to leave the banner on. I'm just going to leave the banner showing because I'm not sure how to switch it over to you, give it to you 100%.
No worries, no problem.
Okay.
All right, folks. So again, if you're listening along on Facebook, feel free to make some requests. I'll do my best to fill your requests. There's a few songs that I can't play because I know that Facebook might shut us down. So I know a lot of classic Motown. A lot of people love classic Motown. A lot of times those songs get flagged and get shut down on Facebook. So I'm going to do my best to play what you want to hear. I have mostly vinyl, a lot of vinyl, but I do have my computer ready to go if you have any